welcome. We have, oh my goodness, here we are, day 4 in our prime market in Africa, in Lebanon, in where else are we? In the UK and all over the world here at the IBGR network. I'm Donna Kundi, and I'm so excited to be bringing IBGR to the world. I'm part of the executive team here at IBGR. Half of the vision that comes to this, my business partner William Eastman is going to be here in the background, maybe even popping on, but we're running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there are 2 of us, so it's pretty exciting, it's pretty awesome, and we are bringing you our talent this week. Here we are, it sounds like there's an echo. Awesome. So today we're introducing you to Tina Ogbugo, Arthi Moore, Sadiqa Kevi, and Jan Roberts, and they are part of our Prime host. What we do here at IBGR, that stands for International Business Growth Radio Network, and we are connecting the world of business, and we're doing it in a way that is through live radio on the internet. It's super easy to listen to. It's super easy to get the strategies that you need to either start a business, grow a business, or exit a business. And we're bringing it all from best practices that have worked around the world for over 40 years in corporate consulting, in small business consulting, and it'll work in your business if you decide to put it to the test. So today we're launching our 3rd season. Well, actually this week we're launching into our 3rd season at IBGR. Very exciting times. The count as of today, there are listeners in 133 countries of the world. There's 195 countries. We have listeners in 133 of them. That's 68%, over 2/3 of the world countries are seeing the value at IBGR. And it's not to tell you this to inflate our heads. It's to tell you that people, business owners, entrepreneurs, are seeing the value in the professionals, in the entrepreneurs, and in the hearts of our on-air talent. And I just, I'm so blessed by this whole experience. This is, again, day 4. If you missed any of the first several days from our North American talent, from our Australasian talent, and from our South Asian talent, you can always see the replays right here on Facebook. They are worth looking at. The stories are incredible. The entrepreneurial journeys just blew me away to think how it all began for these individuals. And so as we're, just a little overview of who we are and what we are, and this is hopefully going to be very conversational. We always say that on the radio, and sometimes, I think before COVID, especially when we didn't have the masks, there would be the times when you would meet somebody and you'd say, "How you doing?" And they say, "Oh, fine." And you're like, "Oh, good, they didn't say anything bad," and you just walk on. And you'll hear our talent all the time mention on their shows that we want to connect with you. And that's not just lip service to ask, "How are you doing?" That's not code for "How are you doing?" Our on-air talent really want to be here in a mentoring position to help you grow your business. And we're doing it, just as I mentioned, for free on the internet. And that's always a challenge, and it's always a risk, because sometimes free is not valued the way that it should be. But I'm here to tell you that if you look at the biographies, the bios on our website at IBGR, you'll see just the level and caliber of entrepreneurs that want to show up into your life to help you grow your business. And one of those entrepreneurs is Miss Arthi Moore. Arthi, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic, as always. I love being here. Thank you so much, Donna.
Fantastic. Arthi is one of our anchors for today's show. Arthi, I'm going to let you go ahead and take over.
Brilliant. Well, I actually love this because this is our first time that all of our hosts are going to be visible to our audiences. And so everybody always listens to our voices on the show. but they never get to meet the person behind the mic, behind the laptop, behind all of the show notes and everything else that goes on with the nuances of radio. So I'm loving that we're here. And I want to just say a special thank you to Donna and to William Eastman and Bill, sorry. So thank you, Donna and Bill, for creating this incredible platform. I know IBGR Network is an international radio show, but what I love about it is that you brought together a vision to impact people around the world in the millions, not a few thousand, not a few 100,000, but in the millions. And what I love about that is when you are a visionary, you want to encourage and entice the right experts from around the world. So for us in our Africa, our Meridian area, in our slot, we want to say it's a privilege for all of us to be here and to be able to add value to our network, to our radio show. And I love that. Knowing that we've got Tina from Nigeria, and we've got Jan in Scotland, and we've got Sadia from Lebanon, means that we've got various different nuances, experiences, expertise, and a building onto the network based on where we come from, specific from our area. So when we're listening to Sadia, we're actually listening to the brilliance and the beauty of where she's come from, what's affected her, what affects the people in her area.
Yeah.
And when she talks into her show, she's able to talk through her experiences and, you know, the power of how you overcome through resilience. When you talk to Tina, you're listening to an experience that comes from being a woman in Africa, knowing what the challenges are, where entrepreneurship is going in Africa, where women fit in leadership. It's not just men and women, though. It's specific to some areas where, on a personal level, all of our people, all of our hosts have got a lifetime worth of stories to actually share.
And I'm glad you brought that up. I just want to cut in really quick. Sorry to interrupt you, but that was the vision originally when we started this, was to build 6 hours of programming that goes live in 4 different areas of the world with local on-air talent to speak to the cultures, to the trends, and to the specific needs in those markets. And so when you hear Arti talk about our Prime Meridian on-air talent and you see the faces, and we're talking about Africa, UK, Europe, and Middle East, it is because this is our day to shine and showcase that talent. Now you can listen to any show you want to, but again, it is for that very reason, knowing as a business owner, everything is different in different, and it's sometimes it's that language. Like I talked to the Australians and they put it in their diary. Well, I put it in my calendar. So sorry for interrupting, but I just wanted to really bring that point up.
No, but I think, you know, what you said is brilliant, because what we're doing here is we don't have a script. For our show, we all have got a very specific script that allows us to add value specifically according to entrepreneurship and business. But where everybody's unique, and I love when you call everybody on air talent, because when you listen to everybody here, it's gonna be exquisite. And having Jan on this is really brilliant as well, because I find the exquisiteness of bringing men and women together and the thinking out of the box really stimulates our ability to take entrepreneurship to another level. And I find that IBGR Network has been able to bring together a massive a range of people, both men and women, different ages, cultures, diversities. And to add to that, it makes sense that my anchor, who anchors me in every way, and as well on the show today, is Jan. So I'm going to ask Jan if he can talk into a few areas as well, and I'm going to hand over to him.
Yes, thank you, Arti. And of course, it's a great pleasure to be the one thorn amongst all the roses today. Yeah, and it is exciting because, you know, I just an hour ago I finished my show for today, but there is a new season starting. We are we are an international business growth network. Don't let that title go amiss, because the title is there for a reason. And I think there is so often that we actually look into starting an idea of we want to become entrepreneurs, and we never know who, what, when, where, how. Well, this platform has got it all. We started on a Monday morning, and it covers customers, marketing and finances. It covers corporate. It covers on tomorrow as well. It's the executive. So being on the business rather than in the business. So and not only that, but it's all the different stages. So if you are still fighting with the idea, you want some guidance. That is the first level you walk into this global platform, and then as you go through there, for you're opening your doors to being more experienced people. But we can all learn, and we should all learn continuously, because a lot of this is about personal development. We need to develop ourselves in so many different areas, and then as entrepreneurs as well, we are very busy doing stuff all day long, but so often we forget some of the things, and then where can I get that now? But here on a weekly basis, you can come back, and if you miss, I don't know why you would miss them, but I mean, you might miss one of the sessions that you really needed to. You can go to the IBGR.network and find them. Their podcasts are there, the show notes are there. There is already a whole volume of show notes that I think nearly 600 pages. So that's really, I nearly said a Bible, but let's keep religion out of it. But a handbook.
So yeah, there you go, a handbook or a guide, or
yeah. So they can actually go into there and find, and I mean, you find something, then you can even go to the appropriate show and find out and listen to the show as well. So it's a wealth of information. I called it in my show earlier on Aladdin's Cave of business development. So it's really important. And the fact is that so many people around the world are not selfishly giving up their time, but they're just so interested as entrepreneurs and as business people to guide and support and help other people, because they also know what it takes. They also know where they've been, and to be able to give. Zig Ziglar said a long time ago, if you help enough other people to get what they want, you'll get what you want. And it's BNI. They say givers gain. So it's so much, and all these people around the world, whether you're in Australasia or in Asia, you're in this time zone, or even in America, there is so many specialists, so many experienced people. These are not people who would just kind of thought it was a good idea to have a radio show. No, these are people who are passionate about developing others, and by doing so, you develop yourself. As a teacher, you always develop yourself. So I think it's really a wonderful idea that. We also hear the voices, and I always said I've got a face made for radio, but it is also good, in this whole week we get a chance to see and meet the people, and I'm going to be looking forward so much to Sadia, sorry, I'm learning, and Tina, to actually talk about themselves and what they're all about, and what their passion is and why they're here and all that kind of stuff. These questions will get asked over the next 2 hours, and Donna, what craziness drove her to spend 24/7? I mean, I don't even know if she sleeps. I hope she does. But I mean, and then there is Bill, who hopefully will be able to come on at some point as well. But these people are very inspirational, and to hear from them what they're, we hear the I Have a Dream story. Well, they had a dream. They still have that dream, and it's only getting bigger, because when I joined only just over a month ago, there was 109 countries. Now there is already 133 countries. And this is the kind of the hard launch. So to only starting out, but to get to know some of the people, I think it's interesting. On radio, do you really have an idea about the person on the other side? So it's wonderful to be able to see them. And if you want to ask questions, because I said as well, it's going to be very exciting that the questions you ask will determine what we're going to talk about very, very soon in our shows. So stretch us. We want to learn, we will learn as well, but you will stretch us, and we will do our best to provide that information back to you. So if you have questions, don't keep them to yourself, whether it's up in our section. I think we're all on the people side, the four of us in the people section, but whether you're in our section, on any other section, stretch us and ask those kind of questions, because we will develop, you will develop. It's a win-win situation, and it'll ensure that you are better prepared for the obstacles and the challenges ahead. Arthi.
That's awesome. Let me just jump in there real quick, Jan, because you hit on a couple of things that I wanted to point out. First of all, about our on-air talent. All of us are business owners. Some are serial entrepreneurs. And one of the things that we know about entrepreneurs is we're a crazy breed. we tend to be lone wolves. And Bill said it the other day, and I think he hit the nail on the head that, yeah, we are the lone wolves. We have to be out there to forge the new path into the world and create that business we want to create. But one of the things you hear us talk about on the station is we are a network. And what we want to do is to build a wolf pack of entrepreneurs, because we know that together we are better, together we are stronger, together we can build that community that will not only help your families, help your local communities, but will help your local economies, but will also help the global economy. Because I don't know if any of you have seen this pandemic thing that's been going on right now.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, when we come together as entrepreneurs, there is nothing that can stop us. And right now, there is no organization that is trying to build that network, build that togetherness. And all of our on-air talent see the vision and know the vision. And that is why they're pouring out their heart, their strategies, their inner secrets, things that they charge lots of money for into the organizations to go, right? And it is because that when we have that community, we're calling it a community of commerce. It's our own version of a chamber of commerce. And Richard Miller from Australia, he's from originally from Manchester, UK, England, and but now an expat down in Adelaide, Australia. And on his show, he nailed it. He said, our community of commerce is like Facebook for adult business owners.
I'm glad you never stopped there.
So, the community of commerce, it is on the website at IBGR.network. And if that resonates with you, if you want to be part of our wolf pack, if you want to be part of that global organization and that network, come on in and let's get those conversations started.
Yeah, when Ian was talking, there was something he mentioned about all of us being entrepreneurs, building our businesses and all of that. And I know one thing, all of us here, just like he said, we're all in the people lane. One thing we also go beyond, looking beyond the business, is who you are as an entrepreneur. So we don't just talk about the business, about making money. We're also helping you to ensure that you have the right mindset, you have the right fit of people to actually run your business for you, no matter the stage of business where you are. And an interesting thing that I love about the IBGR is that we're not just here to talk about business or the people side of business. So we have different lanes. We talk about the finance, the sales, marketing, and then there's a day that's actually dedicated to talking about the owner, you. How do you grow yourself in the business? So you don't want to miss this opportunity. I mean, we just started the launch for the season 3 is going to be explosive, but beyond what we have to offer, we want to also hear, what do you want to know? What are those burning questions? What are those burning needs that you want us to speak into? That will also help us to, drive the way we run in season 3 and going forward.
I love that. I love the way you just explained that, Tina, because this just sounds like we're sitting here like the big five. We're here to guide you in different ways of experiences. We may be in different countries, but what's incredible is the depth of knowledge that's sitting here. And I think, we'd love to hear Sadia tell us a little bit more about herself as well, because you've been quiet so far. So we want to hear your beautiful voice all the way from Lebanon.
Thank you, Arti. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, and especially happy to be part of IBGR Talent. And I would like to say something. When Donna approached me, I felt like this is another Being Human platform that is opening up for me. As I started my NGO 4 years ago under the name of Being Human, and I'm doing my best in Lebanon first to bring people together, to work on social cohesion, on peace building, no matter what the background, no matter where you come from, whether political background, whether religious, whether race, whether anything. And then when Donna approached me and I looked into IBGR website, I was, oh my God, this is the global platform for being human, and I have to jump in because I want those stories, the stories of cohesion, the stories of being one, the stories of being human to be put out there, especially that I am in the people section as well. So it's not only about business, it's not only about the owner, it's not only about the employee, it's also about you as a human being. I'm doing my best, and I'll be doing my best to deliver a holistic um, program on my show in order to build the human before building the entrepreneur and the businessman and the businesswoman. So I hope to add value to IBGR like they gonna be adding value to me as well.
I love that. I love the way you've just explained that. That actually talks so much to the depth of IBGR network, exactly what Donna has been saying. We're not just a radio show, we're a network. And I
True.
feel that, a lot of times we miss the point of what is a network. It's not about passing a business card, and it's not about us doing an exchange of let me connect for the sake of connecting and looking what I can get out of the person in terms of business connections. It's about building the relationships. It's about
Yes.
understanding that business is built around people, with people, for people. And the only way we can succeed is as people growing together. And it brings to mind some of the African principles of leadership. And they say in Zulu, umuntu ngubuntu ngabantu, a leader is only a leader because of their people. So
Mm.
when you look at any organization, and Bill puts it a lot more succinctly, right? He's talking about the first 4 days. We talk about the business and how you're looking at a business that exists and how it's growing and the entrepreneurs' growth in the business. And then on the fifth day, they're talking about how you're working on the business as an executive. So you're also working on yourself on every aspect. And when you look at all of our hosts around the world, they're adding value exactly as Sadia said, not just on the business, but on the entrepreneur. We're talking into mindset, we're talking into self development, we're talking about personal development, we're talking about skills development. And I find that that's the balance that IBGR Network brings in. They're talking
Exactly.
about how do we guide and support each other as well. And when Donna was talking about a wolf pack, you've got to know that when we grow together, we go together in the same
Yes.
direction. And by the way, I got that sentence from Jan. When we grow together, we go together. And I thought, there's inspiration, there's guidance and support. So you're not walking this journey alone. And one of the questions that's come in already on our platform on the Facebook side from Mishak, who says that he wants to be an entrepreneur, but he doesn't have the money. Where does he start? And I think, already, Mishak, you're already on the right platform because IBGR network, all you got to do is have access to data. Get onto all of the calls, listen to the shows, go into the website, sign up, follow everybody, go and look at all of the skills and look at the bios of all of the different hosts,
Yeah.
because on their bios shows you who they are, their experience, and where you can be guided specifically, and follow their shows. And what's incredible about our show is that everything's saved as a podcast. So you can listen to this wherever you're at, and they're all archived. So you're not going to miss out on anything. You won't miss out on anything. So if you've got FOMO, that's fine. I see that you want to go into agriculture, and there'll be many people around the world that you can access the shows of. So you're not limited to the time that you're in. You see, because the way that IBGR.network has streamed this, it's across all continents, all time zones, 24/7. You've got access to everybody, anytime, anywhere. There's always a show on air. So I would suggest get onto our website, go and connect there, follow all of the different hosts, and see how you can learn from them from now. And it costs you nothing but a little bit of data to get onto the internet. So from my side, I want to ask Tina.
Before you go on, I want to add a little bit to that, Arthi, because it's a great question and it's one that we haven't talked about yet, is our 6 hours of programming. It's
Okay.
6 hours of
Perfect.
programming that cycles in a 24-hour period, which is where we get the 4 market segments. So in Australia, it kicks off the 6 hours. Then we do the same topics hour after hour in South Asia, then to you in the prime market, and we wrap it all up here in North America. And the way the programming is structured, Bill did this, and I think it's brilliant. It is each hour is based on a business stage of growth. And so for our listener who is asking the question, I'm an entrepreneur, where do I start? At IBGR, we specifically have it worked out for you. I put a formula in one of the comments, and the formula says F equals, and then there's a parenthesis, O plus C plus P, end parenthesis, and then there's an E on it. And what that really says in regular language is that for every business owner, we want healthy finances. And there's this thing called a balanced scorecard. And what most business owners don't know is this terminology and this idea of balanced scorecard. And in order to have those healthy finances, the business owner needs to have operational excellence, which is our O. They need to have good customer sales, service, and support, which is our C, customers. They need to have good people performance, which is our P. And the multiplier to that is when the owner begins to think like the CEO and executive of a multi-million-dollar company, even before they sell their first product. It is that mindset. And that's how our 5 days of programming is laid out. Monday is the theme of finance. Tuesday is the theme of operational excellence. Wednesday is the theme of customers. How do we get customers? How do we keep customers? How do we sell our product? Thursday is all around people performance. And Friday is that special day of thinking like the executive, the owner of and that CEO. And then the 6 hours of program, Jan kicked it off this morning. Was it morning for you? It was afternoon, I think, for you. I don't know what time it was. I don't type time. But anyway, Jan kicked off in our stage 1. What we call stage 1 is pre-startup. And so speaking directly to the question that was asked, where do I start? You start in our first hour of programming, and you listen as much as you can Monday through Friday, because it will take you throughout the season, step by step. It tells a story. Every show tells a story and goes, this is what you should do, and then do this, and then do this. And we're taking you by the hand. And if you have questions, as we say, that's where the connection comes in our community of commerce to reach out to any of us, any of the on-air talent. Because that is what we believe, that when we build you up, when we build up new entrepreneurs, it is going to get the world back on track again. It is going to connecting the world of business. And so stage 1, that first hour of programming in each of the market segments, is for those that have an idea, don't know where to start. Just listen to that first hour of programming in any of the 4 market segments. Then the next hour of programming is, I am a startup. I'm getting ready to open my doors, whether my doors means I'm pushing a button going website door, or I've actually got a brick and mortar where somebody can walk into my store. It doesn't matter. That second hour of programming is just for the startup who is getting ready to do what we're doing right now, a hard launch. And there are steps that will tell you along the way what to do, and pitfalls, traps to avoid that comes within that programming. And again, this is based on over 40 years of research, scientific research on businesses. It's been used in Fortune 50 companies, it's been used in Fortune 500 companies, and it's been used in small businesses just like the one you want to start or have started. And then the third hour of programming is for that business owner who is there. I've got a real business and I'm generating revenue that is coming in every month that's predictable. And then the fourth hour programming is, I'm an overnight success. Everybody is buying my product and service. What do I do now? Because things are crazy. And then eventually you're going to either want to exit your business or reinvent your business. And that's the last 2 hours of our programming. So it's very structured. And it's very easy for you to say, to self-identify that, I want to start a business. I know exactly where to start. Any of the first hour programming, Monday through Friday, actually Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, because we do best of on the weekend. But if I want to start a business, any of the first hour programming is perfect for me. I'll just find the on-air talent that I want to listen to in each of those 5 areas of growth. So I hope that makes sense in the way that that's explained, because it was a really, really good question. And Bill spent many, many hours. He was a little mad at me because our first season, we just did it very, it was great programming, but people didn't know when to listen. And I was like, Bill, we got to do it this way. And he literally spent like 10 days restructuring everything just to make it easy for the business owner or potential business owner, the pre-startup, to know where to go. And one last thing before I sit back and let you all have the show again. You talked about, Arthi, building relationships, or maybe that was Sadia, but it was about building relationships, and maybe it was you, Sadia. But I want to give another visual. The building is that first piece, and when we build the relationships, it creates a bridge that connects the heart of the entrepreneurs and the spirit of the entrepreneurs around the world. And if I were to put IBGR into one sentence, that's what I would say, is that we're building the relationships that are creating the bridge to connect the heart of entrepreneurs and their dreams and visions around the world. We're connecting the world of business. Thank you. I'll be quiet.
Exactly. I loved your answers, because now, Misha, I hope you can understand the power and the brilliance of being on a network where they've thought about every aspect, everything that you need to begin, start, and even exit your business. And so there's a wealth of knowledge and expertise that's on the platform. And what's incredible is they also have an ebook that will be released that has got all of the show notes. So if you're not one of those people who wants to listen for hours and hours, the show notes are succinct with all of the objectives, and it's brilliant about what you can do, how you can do it, how you can implement on the topic. And that is invaluable, and that is a gift that IBGR.network is giving to our people, to our audience, because they've got this intention to help you succeed. And I think that is more powerful, because where in this world do you find a network of people who are intentionally wanting to help you, guide you, and support you to succeed as an entrepreneur or a business owner? And with that in mind, I wanted to find out, I mean, Tina, you understand the nuances of business and being a woman in business. And coming from Nigeria, there are different nuances and expectations. Can you tell us a bit more about yourself and your journey of becoming an entrepreneur? And I think that would be stunning if you could share some of that with us.
All right, thank you, Arthur. Yeah, so doing business in Nigeria as a woman, just like it's doing business like a woman in any other part of the world, but it has its pros, it has its cons. But what I would say is that the journey into being an entrepreneurship didn't just start today. So I have had my working career in corporate Nigeria for over 23 years. I actually exited corporate Nigeria in 2011 at a point where I was in banking, was high up there as a manager in a branch, but there was just something in me, that knew I wanted more. I knew I wanted to be more. I wanted to do more. And I wasn't getting that there. And I remember it took me some 5, 6 months going forth and back with my managing director at the time because they didn't want to lose me. But I knew that I just wanted more, and that wasn't where it was. And interestingly, I must say, at the time, I wasn't even sure what I wanted. So I was one of those people who knew I wanted to get out, but then I wasn't sure where exactly I wanted to go or what exactly I wanted to do. But when I left in 2011, what I knew I had in me, what kept me going was that all through my career, I had found myself in a place, irrespective of where I worked, whether in operations, in marketing, that I had this gift, I had this skill of, speaking into people, helping them through counseling, coaching, just wanted to help people find meaning in whatever it was they were passionate about. And at that point in 2011, I said to myself, all right, it's HRO for me. That's where I'm going to focus because, I was passionate about people. And if you listen to any of my show in season 2, I always said, people matter. That's so important, and it just goes back to what you were saying when you were talking about building businesses. We need people. Without people in business, when you gave the quote about the Zulu quote that a leader can only thrive because of the people in the business. So for me, going into the people business was a journey. That's what led me into going into the John Maxwell team in 2015, and I've just been building my wings on the way. I have a business, a consulting business. I do HR consulting and I do leadership training here in Nigeria. I do corporate training a lot. I'm able to speaking to corporate C-suites executives, help them with their mindset, help them on how to actually lead their people. Because the truth is that when we don't have the right mindset, no matter what we're doing, we're not going to get it right. So I always love to speak into people's mindset, first of all, to ensure that, they are in the right mindset for them to actually progress into whatever it is they want to do, wherever they want to go to, and whatever business they want to build. And I recently joined Women in HR in Nigeria. We just launched in this COVID season, and it's been an interesting journey being a part of them, hearing all the discourse that goes on at that level, what women think and how are we thriving, what are we dealing with. You're dealing with family, you're dealing with spouses, you're dealing with every other thing, and then how do you put all of that together to help you actually excel in your own business, finding your own time, finding you in that business. So it's a journey, but it's an interesting journey, one I am loving and I'm passionate about and growing in. And another thing I just want to bring here to talk about is that when the question was asked by Mishak, saying not having money and all of that, money is not the first thing to think about when you're going into business. And when I speak with entrepreneurs here in Nigeria, when I talk with people and I hear money, because I don't have the money, I'm stuck. Because I don't have the money, I cannot move forward. I know that, wow, there's a lot of work that needs to be done with that person. So, helping them understand that money is not really the first thing you should be doing when you want to go into business. So you need to think about, just like Donna said, jump on the call with Jan. If you're in our region, the prime market, you'll learn a lot from what are the things you need to do before you actually set out into doing business. What are those things you need to do? Talking about you, working on you yourself, to help you get started. And then you now start thinking about the finance aspect. Finance is important, but it's not necessarily money that helps you to get started in your business.
I love your answer, and I love that Mishak has been listening intently to everybody and what they're saying. And he says he signed up, right? He's already signed up on our website, so well done. Well
awesome.
done. That was your first
Like a
step of
telephone.
awesomeness.
Hey, we got one on the telephone.
So listening to us was your first step, and the second step of awesomeness was signing up on the website. So, well, I think share with them all of these resources, because IBGR.network is bringing to you so many different platforms. There's no excuses. They're in every continent, 24/7, in so many different areas, from the beginning of your business idea stage to exiting the business. And then when you look at it, it's everything from your networking, your sales, your marketing, your strategies, your relationship building. I think that it is absolutely stunning to now encourage other entrepreneurs to come onto this platform. And we're going to hear now from all our other awesome speakers, our hosts, our on-air talent. And I want to hear from Jan. And I think what Tina was talking about made such a huge difference in the way she was saying it's not just about starting a business. It's the mindset that goes into this. And I know that that is one of the areas that you're really passionate about. And I find that all of our on-air talent have got different expertise that can help people to grow their business. So why would our people want to listen in? It's because of what you're sharing with them. So I want to hear, Jan, from you, what would your advice be for our guys? Why come and listen to these shows? What does entrepreneurship and mindset have got to do with the success of a business? And what tools can you share with everybody from your experience?
Ooh, that's a good question, and I would say why would it come? The first thing is why not, and the second thing, what does a mindset got to do with business? Everything. There you go. There's your answer. I like to keep it short sometimes. That's very unusual for me. I know that, but no, not really. As you say, you have to have a little bit of fun as well, because that's one thing about your mindset. If you are too heavy, we've all been at lectures that you think, is it not time yet, or you grab your mobile phone or something? But you got to be a little bit light as well, because it makes it easier to learn as well.
Jump in there real quick, because
it is very important.
All of our on-air talent definitely come through in that way. That it's not university learning. It's enjoyable, and we may try to make it fun, but we also make it very results and action oriented. So like David Wilson has got sound effects in his. It's just crazy off the chain. And so I just had to jump in there, because you are absolutely right with that.
Yeah, thank you for adding to that, Donna. And of course, Donna has been guiding me this morning, because I had some challenges which I got through by the end. But as I said, it's a live show, and it was too. But it is wonderful, because first of all, there is a big problem in this world today. We are getting fed negative news by the boatload. First of all, as soon as you hear entrepreneur, I wouldn't do that, because 80% fail in the first 5 years and another 80% fail in the next 5 years. That means 4% succeed. Well, that's one of the reasons we're here. We want to make sure that way over 4% will succeed. And I know, and I know more than 4% will succeed, because most of these people fail by the wayside for a variety of reasons, and so many, as Tina said as well, they already start with the wrong mindset. See, too many people, they look at their results so far, and then they look at something and they say, I cannot do that. And I'm saying, based on what? And that really gives them time to think, because it's just, well, it's actually based on the fact that they look at the results they've had so far, and we are all, three of us are already involved, and maybe Tina as well, in values-based leadership, where the saying inside the double pages is, thoughts become actions, actions become habits, and habits become your destiny. So if you want to work into your potential, if you want to follow your passion and your purpose, so you can reach that potential, then this needs to change first and foremost. There is nothing else. If you don't change this, forget about it. But the reason it's very simple. If you look at your results you've got so far, or what other people tell you cannot do, because there's plenty of them, of course, just prove them wrong. But you look at the results you've had so far, and that means that that's the thinking. If thoughts become actions, because everything starts with a thought. So if thoughts become actions, that means what you need to change is not the way you look, that you're looking at the results and say, I can't. No, you need to start changing your thinking, because if thoughts become actions and actions become habits, and if you change your thinking, you get different actions, you get different habits, you get different results. And I kind of do a whole lesson on it, but it is simple, yes, easy, no, because it takes, like business, like entrepreneurship, you can't just drop out of the first hurdle. You don't drown by falling in a puddle, you drown by staying in it. So here we are in an organization, in a network of people who are saying, hey, you might have fallen down, but come on, lift yourself up. We will help you, we will guide you. And as far as people and business, I am passionate about people, and sometimes frustrated even with myself. Don't get that wrong, I'm also human. But there is so often that we already talk ourselves out of our destiny, out of our purpose, because we are listening to complete negative news. They say garbage in, garbage out. I now have changed that around. I call it Kiko. Quality in, quality out. So make sure that here you get quality. In this platform, you will get quality. 24/7, you'll get quality. So that is one of the big reasons you should come to this platform, because none of us, and I can speak for all of us here, none of us will tell you anything that doesn't work. None of us will tell you anything that will harm you. Everybody is interested in your success, because let's face it, your success is our success, and our success is to see you succeed. To make sure, for all of us to know that we've been a tiny cog in that wheel where you become successful, to make sure we have had a difference, to make sure that our lives matter, because your lives matter. Every life matters. So if we are going to start, and as I said before, the people side of so many things. I just finished recording 15 videos on the 15 invaluable laws of growth, which is all about personal development. And it says the only way you will reach your potential, and whether it's in entrepreneurship, whether it's in business, or as a person, and you need to, that all comes together. Leadership is included in that, in the whole package. But if you want to reach your potential, the only way you'll do that is to grow. And as Arthur already said, I always say that, at this situation just now, are you sitting there complaining and it's everybody's fault and what's going to happen with me? No, poor everybody. Are you going to go through this and complain, or are you going to grow through this and make sure that whatever happens, you come out better prepared for the future? And this is what we're doing here. During this time, especially, if you have more time because you're sitting at home, switch on your radio, switch on your internet thing that you have, switch it on and put your headphones on if you need to, but start listening and start taking notes, but also start implementing it, because knowledge is not power. If it was, every librarian would be skinny, rich, and happy, and everybody now having knowledge at their fingertips would be the same. I'm certainly not skinny, I'm not rich either, but I'm certainly happy. But the thing is, knowledge acted upon is power. And then we will go one step further, because if you act upon it and you do it wrong, see, practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. So now, every day, that knowledge you now act upon, then you need to reflect on it. So evaluated knowledge is powerful. And that's why when you get this knowledge, don't just write it down and put it in a book like we do so often at lectures and seminars. And it was a great seminar. Ooh, I'm going to do this, and then Monday happens. And it happens because we don't take the steps we need to do to grow our business, to develop our business, but develop ourselves too. So if we can really get into that power we all have, there is no limit to what we can do. I mean, there is no point in looking at the negatives in life and saying why. Look at the positives and say why not. Come to this platform and say, hey, I can do that. Hey, this person can help me, and it might not be me. It might not be Saria. It might not be Tina, Donna, or Arthi, but it is 30 or 40 people already, and it's growing all the time. We're always looking for people who are passionate about doing what we're doing here as the pack of wolves. And I love the pack of wolves, because wolves sometimes frighten people, but if you really look what wolves do, they look after their weak. They take care of their weak. They take care of the ones that need help. So the pack of wolves is, geese the same. They change and everybody flies up front at some point, and the other ones encourage each other. We encourage each other as much as we help you, because we are a team of people, and we congratulate each other on the good shows. We encourage each other with what everybody's doing. So the animal world has a lot of positive things. You would be better off looking at that than some of the people world where we talk about negatives. But we need to improve ourselves. We need to improve our thinking, and by doing so, we need to grow ourselves. I said this morning in the show as well, what does your personal growth plan look like? And then you go like this, oh, I haven't got one. Well, if you haven't got one, get one. Every day you need to do something, either physically, spiritually, or mentally, every day to grow yourself, because the only way you can guarantee that tomorrow will be better if you do something to grow yourself today. And I can say plenty more, but I get excited, so it's maybe time that I give somebody else a shot. But if I might just go to Sadia this time. For me, Sadia, we of course work with you as well, and there is so much.
Yes.
You're a storyteller as well. What made you, when you heard IBGR.network and that you could do a radio show? What made you come to the radio show, and what have you got to offer in your segment? Because you're on at segment number 6. Normally you're on the last. I'm the first one in this side, and you're the last one, and everybody else is in between, and we're all linked together.
Yes.
There is no weak link in between us. But talk us into that.
Well, Jan, let me tell you something. My passion, I've discovered my passion, if you want, at a very early age. And I guess I was a lucky person in some way. And this is equipping others. Unfortunately, I've been in many unfortunate situations due to the civil war in Lebanon, and it has been ongoing since 1975 until today. Disaster after disaster, trauma after trauma. I experienced my trauma at the age of 10, but I was lucky enough to find someone who stepped into the mud. You just said, you mentioned the puddle, Jan, and you said if we stay there, this is when we fail. And sometimes, by the way, some people cannot get out of that puddle on their own. They need someone to step in. They need someone to muddy themselves, no matter what, to pull you up. And that person taught me how to step into the mud at a very early age to equip others and help them find their passion, find their path, and find their purpose in life. IBGR offered me that slot on a global level. And my show actually is called Equipping Others. So I'm here on that platform to tell the stories that helped people move on, especially when they fall down and they shove their mess under that carpet. You know, many people shove that mess under the carpet and they just remove the dust like that and stand up very quickly and try to move on again. No, this is not what happens. They should stay down there for a bit to reflect upon that mess, to reflect, analyze what happened, and then you stand up again, and then you move forward, and then you're gonna fall down. I always compare life, if you want, business, career, anything you go on, anything you do in life is like your heartbeats. It's just like the heartbeats. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. And once it's dead, what happens? Your heart, it's just flat. This is not life. If you stay on that flat platform, you're dead but breathing. So you have to risk it. You have to fall into that mud. You have to stand up again. But in order to do this, you have to equip yourself. Each time you fall, you need to equip yourself to be prepared for the next fall, if you want, or for the next learning lesson in some way. So IBGR offered me this platform. I had this tiny platform in Lebanon, Beirut, to help people overcome the traumas, to help people, lend them a hand, equip them, get them prepared for any opportunity that will come their way. And now IBGR is offering me this global platform where people can listen to my show and listen to the stories, and maybe this will help them get equipped for future opportunities and also help them grow an emotional intelligence. For me, and if you want, because of living in Beirut, I noticed that successful entrepreneurs had a very high emotional intelligence. It wasn't only about IQ. IQ was like 20% of their success, if you want, and 80% of the success was due to their high emotional intelligence. And then you said something. The negativity out there is very high, especially here in Lebanon, because of the disasters we keep on going through day after day. What happened, or what usually happens with those successful entrepreneurs, is that they stop for a moment, they pause, and they face what happened. They recognize that we are in a mess. They recognize that we are going through hard times, and they say it out loud to their team. And then they lend this helping hand to pull the team out of the puddle, if you want, and move on for a better future, hopefully.
Now, Sadia, before you run away and disappear, you've got people crying. Even Mishak is saying the way you've spoken is so realistic, and you've spoken to his heart. You're touching a lot of people because of the brilliance and the beauty of who you are. Being an EQ specialist and being a person whose heart is so ingrained in helping people equip themselves. I would love for you to talk into your show. Tell us what your theme is. How can people listen to you? What is the time that you have got? What time is your show at? And why? What can they get from you? More of you, because they want more of you right now. So they want to hear where are you? When are you going to be there? What time can they connect with you?
Okay.
They want you.
So my show is an hour from now. No, 2 hours actually from now. It's at 6 p.m. Beirut time. That's 1 p.m. I guess Eastern time, every Thursday. It's called Equipping Others, of course. And you can find me on the website, ibgr.network, in the community, in our commerce community, which is the Facebook of entrepreneurs. I love this, Donna, and I love that, by the way. You can find me there. You can approach me, ask any question you would like. And you're going to find, I don't know if I'm going to say that, but you're going to find a storyteller, including business advice within the stories, but everything will be delivered to you through stories. Everything related to business will be delivered to you through stories, and stories, real stories that happened, and especially in Lebanon. People say that we are resilient. It is true in some way, but you want to know the secret. And if you want to discover that, come listen to my show today at 6 p.m. because I'm going to be talking about the dreamers in Lebanon. It's not our resilience that keeps us going. It's our dreams that keep us going. And I guess every single human on earth, this is what keeps them going. It's the dream. It's not the resilience. So keep on dreaming and you will get there. Especially Mishak, you will be an entrepreneur very soon.
Listening to you, he's got no choice but to succeed. He's got a whole group of people that are supporting him and guiding him. And in the same way that Mishak is actually asking questions and getting personal guidance from all of us right now, we would love to encourage everybody listening to this platform right now. Understand that our IBGR network is free. It's free, people. Take 2, take 3, send this link everywhere, use it on every single platform.
100%.
Do that for your country, do that for your people, do it for your community. Success is not something you hoard. It is not something that you hold closed in your hands. It is something that you're allowed to breathe, you're allowed to fly, you allow it to grow. And that is the whole point of this network. It is a whole growth mindset. And I know that a lot of people listening in want to hear as well. Tina, when is your show? Tell us what you're most excited about that's coming up in the season. Where can people find you? Tell us everything that you would like to tell us about your show and what's exciting and what can they look forward to.
All right, thank you, Artie. First, let me say that I love our primetime show because we all come from varying cultures and we bring our business acumen, how business is done in our environment, and then seek to see what best practices are and how we can use it to, grow our community. My show is titled Business Processes and People Talk with Tina. So I tweaked the name of the show from what it was last season. Last season, it was People, Your Greatest Asset in Business. But the concept remains the same. So we say, why did you decide to change the name of the show? Well, I wanted to encompass the topics we'll be talking about in season 3. The stage of business owners that my show speaks to are those who have just transitioned from the startup stage successfully and they're making profits. I mean, they're making income, regular income, money comes in every month. And they're expanding in terms of their products, services, human capital. It's no more one man show like we'll say in Nigeria. So it's not just a business owner who is doing everything, creating layers of people, reporting lines, and all of that. So some of the things we'll be talking about in the season show this year, this third season, sorry, this third season is that it will ensure that we're looking at standardization of systems, policies, processes, and performance. Of course, we'll be looking at this from the human side, from the people side, because it's important that people working in the organization or in your business, they fully understand and they can access information where necessary, that company values are relatable. They are lived and practiced not just by the people, but also by business owners, by leaders that are in the business. So as we move on in this season, we'll also talk about performance metrics. We'll look at leadership styles, enabling employees the authority to perform their tasks with little or no supervision. And so these are majorly the components we'll be looking at in this third season of the show. So it's basically to look at how the strategies of business, employees' perspective, your business goals, the processes, leadership, and of course, performance-related topics. Because like I always say, people matter. And like you put it, Arti, without people in the business, the leaders will not be there. So that's essentially what my show will be focusing on in this season 3.
I love that. I mean, thank you so much for sharing that with us because a lot of what you've said now just it triggered for me exactly what Jan talks about on the people matter side. He always says you matter, even on the hashtags that he uses. And that also triggers for me. Remember to catch us on Instagram, Facebook, all of the social media platforms, including LinkedIn. So when you look at the IBGR network platform, they have looked at all of the current trending markets. They've looked at social media and how they can engage with people in every single platform available. So there's no excuses of why you can't connect with us. You can find us on all of those platforms with the IBGR.network team. We're a family. They always talk about we're more than just a network. We're more than a radio show. We're a family. And now when you listen to them, we're also a tribe, right? We're a wolf pack. I think we're evolving into the animal world. I think it's just getting more and more exciting. And
also, Afi, there might be no excuses for any of that, but there's also no excuses why you don't start divulging some information rather than just guide everybody else. So I think every listener at the moment is very curious about what you and I'm still sitting with a heavy anchor as well here, and I just lifted that anchor slightly, and I'm sure you're gonna blow the sky wide open. And what we would all like to know, what the listeners would all like to know, because it's about getting to know their hosts. we actually, you and I were on the same interview with Donna. Donna got 2 for the price of 1. But what I mean, listening to Sadia and listening to Tina just now, and of course the wisdom that Donna even started with earlier on. She's been a bit more quiet, of course, at the moment. But you tell us a little bit more about not just your show. Of course, by the way, we're about halfway. We've got another hour to go. If you're watching this, like and share it, because make sure that as many people as possible. We see people from Africa, we see our friend Ihor from the Ukraine, we see people from all over the world coming together here. Make sure the people of the world, it's not about us, but make sure that the people around the world get to know about this, because you are all leaders, and leaders bring other people to become better leaders, and whether it's in business, in any aspect of it. So bring people to the IBGR network from if you've got friends in different countries, if you've got friends in different states, if you've got friends who are living next door and they're not watching yet, why not? It's your duty as well. We all have a duty here to actually make sure that we all grow together. We're going to grow through this. We're going to all reach our potential together. So now, Arthi, that was just a little bit of a commercial. Like and share it for the IBGR.network. But Arthi, back to Arthi.
Because there's still a few countries that haven't heard from us,
not yet. But I know there is people here, no countries. So there is people listening, no countries. Give people a call. You can go like this. Send people a message. Have you heard of IBGR.network? No. Well, tell them where to go and share this with them. You'll do them. It's not about us, but you'll do them the biggest service, because you'll never know. I can talk about the butterfly effect, but when you give somebody else something that might or might not do good, they might pass it on. Somewhere along the line, people become the next Sir Richard Branson or these kind of people, because you have done something along the line, made a huge impact on other people. You never know. But one thing is for sure. What you do know is if you don't share it, nothing will happen. So, but anyway, Arthi, back to you. You're not escaping here. So tell us a little bit more about your background and why IBGR. What it means for you, and the kind of things you do, and also talk a bit more about your program. And I know it's normally on at this time, your show, but we're all here, and Tina the same. She's on run this time as well. She would have just come off her show now. Yes, see, I'm getting there. But we're all here. I only had my show and Sadia afterwards, because it's outside of this area. Tell us about your show, about you. Let people get to know the Arthi I know, and then some.
I think that was a very leading question and a very illegal one. We are on a live platform. I'm just saying.
Not get to know them quite like that, by the way.
So I think it was.
Let's keep it clean here. G-rated here. G-rated.
It's an adult.
Only business.
Remember,
hey, they said adult Facebook, right? No, I think
not that kind of adult.
what is the brilliant?
You're so red.
No, that's the light. That's the light. I think one of the best ways to describe it is I got into entrepreneurship when I was 19 years old. So I finished school at 17. I studied business, law, and marketing and business management at 18. And I went straight into a small business. And I realigned that business and got to learn about people through my journey in South Africa. It was during the time where we had a lot of change in our country. We had Nelson Mandela come into power. And so where I found the brilliance of entrepreneurship worked for me is that I saw a disconnect where people needed help. And I find that a lot of entrepreneurs with their journey, they look at what they're brilliant at, what their passion is, and how they can solve an issue. And for me, I did not understand the nuances in that way. I did not understand the professionalism of find your why and go and work out your strategy and go and create and develop your business plan. I just learned as I went along, and I realized that people, and we always on the show, we're now all talking about people matter. I got to experience that firsthand because of the disconnect across cultures, religion, tradition, the racism, the segregation in our country. and all of the issues that our country had that prevented people from connecting with each other. Now, as entrepreneurs, you don't have a business by just connecting with your friends. You've got to connect with other people. You've got to connect outside of your comfort zone. You've got to grow. You've got to develop. You've got to build a self-confidence of understanding, communicating effectively without upsetting somebody, without disrespecting people. And I found that part of my journey was to bridge that gap. How do I help people to respect each other in the way they wish to be respected? And for me, that was the nuances and the very depth of what helped me to want to learn about people, where they come from, and then build that into a professional platform of engagement where people got to love and honor and respect each other as human beings and work out how they could connect in that way. And so when we look at my entrepreneurial journey, I was looking at different ways to be able to impact people. Now, one of the things that I found with IBGR.network is they're talking into so many different aspects of the personal development of the business owner, parts of working in the business and on the business. And for me, why that was relevant is that in order to create the business that I had to step up in my development. I had to seek out knowledge, courses, different innovative training methods. I had to study, and I intentionally studied to become a lifelong learner and work out. How can I bring accelerated learning techniques? How can I stimulate a human being? How can I connect with them and communicate in a way that I learn how I don't have to change who I am, but I have the skill or the ability to adjust in that moment to the other person by adjusting my body language, my tone of voice, the way I speak to them, the nuances of how I would make them feel welcome into my space. And so when I looked at it from those points of view, I realized that at the end of the day, people just want to know that you respect them for who they are before you demand to do business or build relationships with them. And so when we talk about relationship building and emotional intelligence, which is all imperative, a part of it, the nuances and the foundations of that is how do you connect with the person as a human being? So you're not looking at their wallet and you're not looking at their ability to transfer money to you. You're looking at how do I add value to them? How do I bring solutions to them? And that led me to get to the point where I realized that compassion was the key. And so I built all of my experiences through diversity and inclusion and leadership and entrepreneurship and connecting with people and understanding what were the missing links, and then bringing it together into the compassionate leader of influence. And for me, it does not matter whether you have a title, whether you're working from home, if you're a solopreneur, a mom, a dad, a man or a woman, whatever your age, your language, whether you're a university student starting out. I believe that in order to tap into your potential, you need to understand that you have got everything at your fingertips by coming onto these platforms. And what IBGR did for me was gave me the ability to showcase the reality of who I am. They never told me to adjust who I am or change who I am. They said I could keep my very character and the craziness of who I am, as well as follow a script that guides and supports other people. And I could use the nuances of my craziness to add value. And that is why I thought, well, this platform is going to be absolutely stunning, because my vision in life is to impact millions of people. But the way I want to do that is that every single person I speak to, I want them to leave my show, leave a conversation, leave a WhatsApp interaction, leave anything feeling as if they exist as a human being. And in order to do that, we need different platforms. And these platforms are engaging, they're focused, they're clear, they know their intention, they know their vision, and they know where they're heading. And the journey of an entrepreneur is sometimes a lonely one. It is not a lonely one. It is sometimes a lonely one, and listen carefully to that. The reason I'm saying it's sometimes a lonely one is because that's choice. And I find that if you want to do this by yourself, that is what creates the loneliness. if you want to make sure that you are guided and supported, you get onto shows like this, you get onto platforms like this, and you listen. And what Jan said is, knowledge is not power, but applied knowledge is. And I find that applied knowledge is powerful. And so for me, being a compassionate leader of influence is important to me, because I feel that we have lost the ability to be generous in our words, our thoughts, our actions, our behaviors, in the way we make people feel about themselves. And we've got that ability to share that generosity and walk with grace through this lifetime, in every single thing and in every single way. When we choose to speak, we are choosing to add value to people in every single way, whether it is a young child or whether it is your spouse or your partner, or even in a message. We choose intentionality. And this platform, my show is at 3 o'clock SAST on a Thursday. And what I'm looking at is, how can I help you to find the ability to walk this journey, knowing that you're not alone, and to cement that into you. And what I do is I use African principles of leadership, because I've learned the hard way. Inclusive leadership does not mean that we just yap at you and talk at you. It's about including you on the journey and knowing that an inclusive leader listens carefully to what their audiences want and what they need. We listen to what you're asking us, and then we answer it meaningfully from the best of our ability, experience, and knowledge. And the brilliance about this is that we don't always know everything. And so the vulnerability of who we are as hosts, as we talk into you, is to know that we don't have to know everything, but we can guide you to all the other hosts and guide you to all of the other shows, and say to you, go on to our website, IBGR.network, go and look at the bios of all of the hosts, go and listen to the podcasts, go and download the ebook when it is available, because that is a gift. And what's brilliant is, I understand that our network is free right now, but it does take something from you. It takes your time, and time is valuable. And the value of time cannot have you cannot put a price to it. It's priceless. So yes, there is a cost to this. It is your invaluable time and your choices that you make to join this network, to join and share the knowledge and the wisdom, so that we can help to build other people. The only way I can impact people is by encouraging them and inspiring them and influencing them to impact others. And so when we look at what we've put together, my show is about growing your potential, because we can talk about unlimited potential. That is not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to say you have potential, as long as you take what everybody is talking about and do something with it. Because my shows, I will say to you, get over yourself. Stop your nonsense. Don't just sit over there and wait. Just because it has got the word free to it doesn't mean that you do nothing with it. This is invaluable as a platform, and I cannot stress that enough. And what we will be doing as in all of our shows is looking at how we can help business owners to achieve their full potential. Now, I'm not going to be gullible enough to say that I will help you achieve your full potential. I can't do that. All I can do is share my experiences in a succinct way that allows you to take what adds value to you, what makes sense to you, and say to you that if you implement it, I can guarantee that you will grow. And in your growth, you will demand more for yourself. And as you demand more for yourself, you'll realize that you connect with people. And when you do that, you change your whole energy. You change who you attract into your life. You attract opportunities. And you no longer throw sayings around and listen to stupid memes that says that one door closes, another opens. Let's get rid of that bullshit. What we want to do is say that there are buildings all over the world with plenty of doors, and all of it is automatic, and it will automatically open for you because you demanded success in your life. You demanded to listen to yourself. You demanded, and you made the choice that you are worth it, because there's only so much people can say that you matter. But until you understand that you matter, it does not matter how much we give to you. So saying that our network is free, I'm impressing upon you that there is no cost to listen to everything, but there is a cost to you choosing you and doing the work to make sure that you succeed. And so that is going to be the show that I run. Will be fun. It'll be fascinating. I will hold you accountable. I will not let you down, and I will not let you and allow you to let yourself down. And so the compassionate leader of influence is not about sitting and crying together. It's saying, let me help you dry your tears. What next? Where next? How next? And let's do this together. Let's join ourselves. Let's join together and become this tribe. Let's become this wolf pack. And I dare anybody to touch us. I dare anybody to touch you. As long as you're part of this tribe, I dare anybody to do anything otherwise, because you will succeed because you are on this platform. So I welcome you to IBGR.network, the people that will take you to where you deserve to be.
I didn't understand
that. Yeah,
that
see,
was
That was so powerful.
Yeah, and that is exactly what needed to be heard there, because a machine cannot teach you this. That just the proof there. I did not understand that. Of course you don't understand that, because you don't understand people. But I mean, powerful. Now, if you're now listening, after having heard these four ladies talk, don't you wish you'd shared it by now? But of course, this will be available afterwards as well, so you can share it still when it's even if it's 24 hours from now. Make sure that you keep sharing this with people, because they say it's free. I will also add to that is, if you treat it as free here, it will be the most expensive, most costly mistake you'll make for the rest of your life. Because time is not free. It's the one commodity you'll never get back. You can always make money, but you can never get time back. Doesn't matter if you're a billionaire or if at the moment you have no money. You begin where you are with what you've got, and you've got the best in front of you. You only have to hit the button and start listening. Now, I would like to hear, I mean, Donna's been very quiet for a while, and I'm sure we're all dying to hear more of Donna as well. All the work they do behind the stages and the sleepless nights. Well, but also something fascinating I heard was, Bill talked about it yesterday as well in Asia, demand-based programming. Now, I know that it's going to be exciting stuff ahead for all of us and for all the listeners, especially because, after all, it is about the listeners. Could you talk a little bit more into, we already know we're in 133 countries now. Congratulations on all of that. And as Bill said yesterday, it's a we thing, not a me thing, which, these people behind the scenes are very humble as well, and they want to include us in everything. And yeah, we can take a little bit of the glory, of course. We'll do our best to add value to it. But they have started it, and now there is so many exciting things ahead. And Donna, can you talk a little bit into that?
Thanks, Jan. Yeah, I'd love to. The vision that we have for season 4, we're just starting season 3, and each of our seasons is a business quarter, because we're business owners. And what we want every business owner to do is to really see that focus. So there's 3 months of programming, basically. In January of 2021, when we begin the first quarter of 2021, the idea and the goal and the vision is to have what we call demand-based programming, where we have engaged listeners who are so intentional and so passionate about wanting to grow their own business that they're asking the questions. What do I do here? How do I do this? And they're giving those questions to our on-air talent so that we can write programming for you, for your business. I just want to touch a little bit on where this inspiration of IBGR came from, because I don't think we've talked about that here, and I think it is so important. William Eastman, Bill, my business partner, this was his original brainchild, the idea of business radio, getting it all out there. And so something is wrong with my sound. Y'all can't hear me very well. You can. Okay.
Yeah. It gets a little bit weaker every now and then, but we can still perfectly hear you. Sometimes just better.
I'll lean forward. All right. So this idea for IBGR came to Bill about 20 years ago when he had the opportunity to go to Ghana and work with the United Nations Development Program to help build business owners and entrepreneurs there. And at the time, he was doing large corporate consulting with Fortune 50, Fortune 500 companies. We're talking big, large corporate consulting. And he took some time to go. He went on several trips there to do that. And it was during that time that he had this epiphany, this realization that he had more in common with entrepreneurs than he did with his own family. And it sparked this journey of almost 20 years of how do we get large corporate consulting into the hands of business owners around the world who couldn't necessarily afford the high cost, the high price, but definitely needed the information, the strategies, and the growth solutions to build fast and sustainable businesses. He's tried it several times. This one is working. It's all about timing. It's all about people. I always joke that Bill is the brains, I'm the heart, and so we're the complete set bringing this all together. And it is this idea that we don't know your journey, but we do. All business is the same. I don't care what your niche is. I don't care what business you're building. I don't care where you live. All business is the same. And I mean that by saying that when we're talking about pre-startups, there are the same steps that you have to take to get to the next step. There are the same steps that you have to take to get to the next step and the next step. And so in that sense, all businesses are the same. But to your point, Jan, what is not the same are the economies, the local business trends, the local struggles, the local cultures. There's all these other things that come into play. And we don't know your struggle unless you tell us. But I do know that with the caliber and the quality of entrepreneurs that we have as on-air talent, the length of time that they've been on this journey, many serial entrepreneurs, that this is not their first rodeo, there are answers. But we need to know the questions. So when you talk about on-demand programming, that is when you hear us say, we want to hear from you. We want to connect with you. It's not because we want to say that, pat you on the head. Oh, good for you. You're doing a business. Wolfpack. We want to build you up, but we don't know how to do that. And what we want in all of the first quarter programming and beyond is to get that feedback so that we're coming to you, giving you even more value, because now you've been through, let's call it the primer course, right? This season is the business primer. All right, we've got the download for you. What happens next season when you've been through the primer, you already got all the basics down? There's still going to be things that are going to happen and that you need to know. And so that hopefully answers your question there on the on-demand.
Yes, Arti?
Well, I think one of the brilliant things in terms of on demand is one of the nuances of radio growing up is that it was always something exclusive and scary. And that to be able to connect to a host, you had to be one of the privileged few that could dial in or be able to send in a message. Now, what's brilliant about the IBGR network is they're encouraging people to bring their questions, to bring their challenges, to bring their issues specific to business and entrepreneurship. So we're not like all of the other radio stations. We're not playing music to entertain you. What we're doing is saying, come onto the network and show us, tell us, and let us help you by finding the answers on your behalf. Let us do the work for you. So where we research, we develop, we create, we find all of the answers and the lessons that may add value to you. And by you listening in and by you actually connecting on the social media networks, we have got quite a number of people watching all the platforms. We're waiting for your questions. So if you're too shy to get onto the website and send a question, that's okay. just connect with us on all of the other social network platforms as well. And make sure you hashtag our IBGR.network, hashtag the @ and the hashtag of IBGR. You will get to one of us, or you'll get to all of us. And the chances are we'll highlight your question and we will send it to the right host who can answer it. So what we're saying is that don't be afraid and don't feel shy. This is not your traditional type of radio show. This is specific. It is intentional in learning how we could help and add value to you. But we need you. We need you because you are the listeners. You are the ones that make this successful. If there's nobody listening, what's the point? And so I think about, we could all talk for hours and hours, but that's not what you might want to hear. And we would welcome your guidance. We want your support in helping us to find the answers for you, but you need to give us questions. We love your questions because it stretches us and it guides us. And, when you think about that, everybody's looking for a business where it can be showcased, it can stand out, not fit in. It's the type of business where you want to be seen as unique. You want to be seen as somebody succeeding in your niche market, or you want to take it to another level of influence. You want to know and understand all of this. Then this is the right time to talk to a global influencer, a person who is beyond amazing as a values-based leadership specialist, somebody who has gone through a lot over 30 years in the oil industry and learned in so many different ways, lived in over 10 countries. So he understands all of the various nuances of working in corporate and then going into business and the transition that it takes. And also understanding how you follow your passion, but it's not just, hey, I'm going to follow my passion and create a business. It's about building, connecting, about understanding and developing continuously. And that is why I think it'd be brilliant for Jan to actually talk into his show, his passion, who he is, everything that is brilliant about what he's going to add value. And so when you listen to all of our show hosts, you understand what types of questions you could ask of each person based on their strengths. And so, Jan, I would love to invite you to talk into your show and your passion and your vision and what excites you about our season that's coming up.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes. I mean, influencing for global impact. That is where my show is about. And I mean, it's all our shows are about that, of course. But I just call myself a global impact influencer, and the reason for that is multifold. When I talked to Bill about this earlier on, because he asked me a similar question about that, and I said, we're all impacting people, some more than others, and some more global than others. But first of all, what this radio station has done already, it has given me the platform to add value to people which I couldn't reach in a lifetime. It gives me a chance to connect with people who need to hear what I say, and that's not to impress you, that's impress upon you, but this platform does. But it's not about me. It's never going to be about me. It's about a team of people adding value to people who want value added, and are people who are valuable. So. But for me, it's always been something that everywhere I went, everything I did, I wanted to add value to people. It comes from when I was bullied as a little kid, and I wanted to serve people, to belong. I mean, after I grew to 6'4" at age 12, I didn't need it anymore. I was actually 6'4" wide before that, but I didn't need to feel the need to belong anymore. But I speak up, and I'm if I believe in certain things, I think if I don't speak up for what I believe in, I'm part of the problem. I'm never going to be part of the solution. I might not be right all the time, but here I've got an opportunity to speak into a great passion of mine. It is very, very broad. I know it's people, but to help people succeed where they are with what they've got, and how can I add to that at this stage, and whether at the moment it's here or something else. But the show is really about. As Don already said as well, it's about, before you open your doors, when you're actually in the development stage, before you ever go anywhere, there is so many questions and so few answers, and so we cover it in every stage. We happen to be in the people stage, and what we know is that it is the soft skills are not only in entrepreneurship, in business, in corporates, most of the time the soft skills are overlooked, or if there's anything to be cut, the training goes first. And as Les Brown, my friend and mentor, said one time, he says, you can't shrink into significance. So if you cut out the one thing that you need most is to invest in your people, you cannot be surprised if your people won't invest in you. So for entrepreneurs, they have no choice. They look in the mirror and you're going to say, I need to invest in you. And they will, if you do that, they'll agree with you on the other side of the mirror. It's not easy. But for me to be able to cover, and I talked about it this morning because it's a seed and start about the areas I will talk into. And what I said this morning, some of it might change because I'm learning all the time as well, and I want to be as relevant as possible to all of you. So I talked into the comfort zone, for example. To grow, you don't do that in your comfort zone. Yes, that doesn't mean it's always about your weaknesses. It means that sometimes you need to know yourself first. You need to know yourself, and when you do, and you can delegate your weaknesses if possible, but you certainly need to grow your strength even further, and that means stretching yourself. I talked about the law of the rubber band, that a rubber band is only good when it's stretched, and the same can be said about people. So if we want to stretch ourselves, then we need to come to the table. There is a seat around all of our tables where you can pull up a chair and say, okay, I'm ready. Bring it to me. But your mind needs to be open, and when it's open, we will help you, we will guide you. But as Donna said as well, and as Artie said, and as everybody knows here, that from next season, you will do more than just guide us. You're going to ask us, this is what you're going to tell us, basically. But the questions you've asked us, I would like to have a whole show done about whatever. We will do this. We will promise you, when you ask the questions, we will deliver. In every area. This is not just the people side, this is the operations, this is finances, this is customers, this is tomorrow's show on our executive. I know I can speak for Donna and Bill. I won't embarrass them. It says we will deliver as a team. But you need to come to the table. You need to be open-minded. And as a person, there is so many people hurting around the world. There is so many people needing the attention, but they don't know where to go. I say, come here. Come here. There is more than just business. You will connect with each other. You will connect with us. There is a whole community of people that care for each other because we're going in the same direction. Bill says, and I listened, I've heard it a few times now, so I listen, he says there's only 5% of people being entrepreneur, but 57% of the working population are earning money because of entrepreneurs. Now that's a huge statistic. That's 1.9 billion people earn money because of people like you, people like us, people. And it's not, again, it's not, don't get me, it's not about us, but it's the fact that together we will make a bigger impact as the population of the world has grown, as there is more mouths to be fed, as there is more people who need to get out of that rut as well, because there is a lot of hunger and starvation, and the only way you're going to get out of it is by creating joy and creating entrepreneurs, and that's what we want to do together. And that's why my show is about some of the very basics, and there's people who are in an advanced stage have never heard about some of these things yet. So just because it's level 1 doesn't mean that people who are already in business for years might not benefit from it, because I know many of them do, and that goes every way. So if you're at level 6 at Sadia, or level 3 and level 4, but Tina and Arthi, you can learn there, but you can learn everywhere. And again, it doesn't even mean that if you want to go back to level 1 that it's got to be me, because there is other level 1s in other time zones that you can benefit greatly from, because we all bring our perceptions, we all bring our beliefs, and we all bring what we've learned to the table so far. And yes, it's different, but it's all necessary. It doesn't matter how you get told. So the idea is, my show is, by the way, is 11 o'clock 11 a.m. UK time, 12 o'clock Central European and South African time, 1 o'clock Lebanon time, and as early as 6 o'clock EST. So if you want to get out of your bed, I'll bring some energy to the table. I'll get you out of bed. I'll just get up, because it's time to learn. I mean, you'll hear plenty of entrepreneurs like Sir Richard Branson, and there's many people writing books about it, the 5 a.m. club. You don't become a successful entrepreneur if you think you're just going to do it 9 to 5. There is a little bit more comes looking at you, and you are your own boss, and you can set your own times. But if you want to be successful, you need to do everything you need to do to grow. People side is a big side of it, and we want to just help you to grow. So if you come to my show, you'll get a few things. You get honesty. Yes, I'll tell you stories as well. We'll have some fun as well. It's not all serious with me, heaven forbid. You're gonna get 10 or 11 different main subjects where I will develop that and I will bring that to you in a way that I see. And it's not all my stuff. I mean, I pull from everybody. I talk about things like John Maxwell, the #1 leadership expert in the world, has brought to people. And I just found some stuff about him, about the meeting before the meeting, and I prepared it this morning, even though it's not part of the show yet, for today. But I'm getting stuff all the time, and when I see it, because when you open your mind, you attract stuff that you need to see at the right time. You know, everything comes to you at the right time for the right reason, the right place, and this is the right place, and that's why I'm excited about this whole IBGR.network, International Business Growth Radio Network. It's about your growth and ours as well, because believe it or not, I've already grown over the last month tremendously, and I'm having fun doing it. You know, and I want you to have fun with me. I want you to grow with me. I want you to say, okay, now I've had enough of you for a while, but I see there is Tina, there is Arthi, there is Sadia. Let's go to them and see what they've got to deliver. But you can do that in the same. You don't have to wait 3 months to go to the next series. No, they are delivering not at the same time as me. So if you missed them, you can go to the IBGR.network, sign join us, and please all join us and bring your friends. Join us, because we need the other 30, and need the other 60 countries. Yeah, there's 61 countries. So join us, bring them. But the thing is, it's all there for you. And it says, and for me, it's a pleasure and a privilege to be part of this vision, a part of the dream. We all have a dream together that we want to impact this world. We want to make this world a better place, and we want to make sure that the people who are standing up and becoming entrepreneurs, it's tough. There's more and more people who want to be entrepreneurs. All I'm saying is, we are here to help you. This is what all our shows are for. And it says, and together, we're going to make this vision a reality.
Am I unmuted? Yes. I clicked the wrong thing and I totally lost you. I love the passion. I love the heart. I love all of our on-air talent and what they bring here. And I wanted to just talk to your point, Jan, about the percentage. Look, yes, Bill, you can do any kind of Google search and it'll tell you that depending on the country, maybe 3%, 5%, 7% are the successful ones in a business. And what we're doing here at IBGR is part of our vision, part of our goal is to change the math. We want to change those percentages. And I almost think it just makes me giggle because that's what I do. But a lot of 2020, we're talking about bingo cards. Did you have that on your bingo cards? And then it's the new month of Jumanji. I don't know if you've seen those going around. But in business, it's almost like that Jumanji too. There are failure points at every stage of business. And what we're doing, it was researched. Bill spent 18 months of his life as a scientist. That's his first beginning. He's a scientist. He's an engineer. He's a serial entrepreneur. He just every day I'm like, who are you? But anyway, he did this research and found what is it that makes businesses go from zero to big fast. How does that happen? And he found trends, and he found best practices, and he found failure points. So for instance, as a startup, your biggest failure point is running out of money. That happens again at stage 4 when you are going into explosive growth, and you might be looking on your financials saying, I'm in great health. I've got all of these sales coming in. Everything is awesome. But in that stage of business, it is also failure of working capital. You run out of money because all of the money is on paper and it just doesn't matter. And so we have this vision of changing those percentages of how many entrepreneurs actually make it, because we're equipping them with these proven best practices and strategies. So I just wanted to add a little bit of that to it. I know we're getting ready to head up this 2 hours together. It looks like everybody is frozen. I hope I'm not frozen. Oh, good. You were just listening intently. I like that. That was a little scary moment there when you think you're talking to yourself. I always laugh because we're live radio on the internet with a computer. What could go wrong? But that is the beauty and the authenticity of IBGR Network and the fun that we have here. But I'm gonna let Arthi or Jan and Tina and Sadiqa have some final thoughts as we close things up here. But I do want to encourage you to get into the community and let's start those conversations. One thing about the community that I've noticed, I'm on an iPhone, and sometimes if I log on there, I don't know why it doesn't like to play well sometimes with Safari, but it does work with Chrome. So if you're having troubles logging in, try it on a different browser. We are working on that. Let's just say we're working on that. But I am so thankful to our on-air talent for their time today and for their time every week that we come together. I'm so thankful for everyone that has been listening and sharing. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to connect with you. I want to meet with you. I want to change the world. That is my purpose, to work with world changers so that I can equip them and help them make a bigger global impact. And I just thank you for your time. And then I'll turn it back to you, Arthi, maybe for some final closing thoughts, however we want to end this.
Oh, no. We're not closing yet. We're going to harass people some more because we've got a platform of amazing, incredible people. So I want to share a few small snippets that I think would be really intriguing that I found out about these other three hosts or these on-air talent that nobody knows about. So let me have some boasting rights here. Tina has got a master's degree from the Kingston Business School in London. And the reason I bring that up is because I feel that when you get onto her show, you're getting somebody who's not just worked in the banking industry for over 23 years. She's been working, understanding where the human aspects of policies, procedures, HR, the people skills all add value. So when you're listening to a show, you're going to hear the nuances of not just corporate experience, but her business experience, her entrepreneurship experience. Sadia was also a TED Talk speaker in 2018. And so when we look at the caliber of people here, she's also a storyteller and also hosted quite a number of public speaking workshops to help people to find their story, find their way to their message to impact people around the world. She's not just that, also on this platform between the three of them, they're all John Maxwell leadership coaches, mentors, and trainers, which means that they are working on their self-development continuously. And then the other part of Jan is that he has founded another entrepreneurial business, and that is the JR Speakers Club. Now, why I bring that up is because each one of them in their own way is looking at how they can help you to find your message, your voice, to find your why, to guide you and support you further than just only business skills. They've got the heart and they've got the desire to help to develop you in different ways. And I think that it's only right for us for a minute or two, if we can. If Sadia, you can tell us about your TED Talk and what did you do to inspire people and how our audience here can find their voice because of the way you use your voice to impact people.
First of all, Arti, I would like to tell you that behind every face, every product, every organization, institution, there is a story. And when you know the story, you cannot judge people anymore. Once you know that story, judgment goes out the window. And I have made it a purpose in my life to know the story because we live in a world of prejudgment. And another thing, I learned that the past is a story. Once you have a closure with your past, it becomes a story. And from that story, you have a message. And if you look at the word message carefully, it's made up of two words, mess and age. And with age, your mess turns into a message. And IBGR has really offered me that platform a global platform, I repeat, to share that message, to share the mess that turned with age into a message. And that TEDx talk, by the way, in order to tell your story, you need courage. And I know that entrepreneurs, that is what they have, because those people risk it. Those people take the risk for other people to get income. And when you have that courage, you just can stand out there and share your story, no matter what that story is. Because at some point, someone is going to pinpoint you and they're going to say, if she did it, I can do it. Or if he did it, I can do it. It is really so important to tell your story. I also learned over time that stories brings us on one platform, and that platform of being human, that I call being human. Because once you share that story, all the labels just vanish. They just disappear. They dissolve into thin air. And you find yourself bonding heart to heart with the other human standing in front of you. And by equipping others, which is my show on IBGR, and I'm so grateful for that opportunity. As Jan said, this is my third time today. You should have listened to me the first time, and then the second time, and today I hope it's going to be better again. Yeah, trying and doing something new from once in a while. I'm not going to say every day, because this cannot happen every day, but doing something new helps you grow as well. And especially when you do it in a team. And I really, really want to show my gratitude and appreciation to Donna. She never sleeps. I'm sure she never sleeps, because she's there every single minute, every single second to answer anything. Yes, anything I need in minutes. It doesn't take her much, and I find everything between my hands. She is equipping me in order to equip you, and I hope I will do a good job in doing that. Thank you so much, IBGR, Donna, and Bill, and RT, and Jan, and Tina, and the whole talent, because we are a tribe. We are the Wolf Gang. We're going to get you out there. But we also need your input. We need your questions, because without you, we cannot really cater to your needs. We need to know your needs in order to cater for those. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Sadia. That was stunning. Thank you for that incredible message.
Thank you.
Equipping us to actually look deep within ourselves is going to be where clarity comes in. And our IBGR network gives us the how-to and gives us the support structure to take you to the next levels. So that actually brings to mind, a lot of things that Tina mentioned earlier when we were just connecting. Tina, what would your words of inspiration or something that you can leave people with to help and guide them to know that they're supported on this network? What have you come across that you would have done differently if you had this kind of support as an entrepreneur? And why would people want to come onto our show?
Thank you so much, Artie. It's been so wonderful being here. Like I said, my show is at 1 p.m. West African time. And one thing I want to say is that doing business in Africa is unique, like we can all attest to. And with the current volatility and uncertainty that we have been faced with in 2020, we're experiencing economic and in some places the political issues as well that could actually impede how business is done or how you can be successful as a business person. And that's one thing we are here as your on-air hosts or talents to help guide you to navigate
Have we lost Tina with a bit of network connections? I'm so
I think
sorry.
she's frozen.
Yeah. But Tina was
Yeah.
actually saying something very important. It does not matter what your circumstances are, where you are at in terms of your environment. Join the network and her show, because one of her passions is to help you navigate through that and those challenges. I love that about what you said, which leads me to Jan. With one of the areas that you're very passionate about is helping people to find their voice in the message. How is that relevant for our entrepreneurs and our business owners coming onto our platform? How can you help them and guide them through your show to find that, to find themselves, to use their message to impact people? Can you talk us through that a bit?
I certainly can, yes. Well, it ties in a fair bit with Sadia says as well, because we all have a story, of course. And I am, when I see what's happening, especially in Africa, the stories for young children already, the stories of everybody, it is so powerful, and we keep importing storytellers or speakers from around the world at vast amounts of money, and I think we need to build an entrepreneurial spirit within the young people already, that they have a story to tell and it needs to come out, because I say it's your story, it's your voice, this is your time. And when it is their time, then this is another amazing platform that we can help them, because let's face it, when they go through this, they are building their story. They say, well, whatever happened in your past, and as Sadi already said, that is your story so far, and we cannot change our past, but we are here now. What story are you going to write for your future? So that story you're going to write, we can now help you with, because you are here with us. We can help and guide you and support you in ensuring that the story you're going to tell from now on will be better than the story you've had in the past. And both need to be heard. But if people hear the story you're building now, they will be able to come to this platform and say, I know where I need to go, because there is a story there for me too. There is a future for me. There is a destiny, and there is something that I can see in there. And that will give me an opportunity. That gives me a real chance. And it is, we talk about free. I call it sponsored, really, because it is not free when all of us are sitting here for a couple hours. That is not free. That is something that we do gladly and something that we give freely. But I mean, when you start to invest your time, you need to, invest our time, but you need to start respecting your time. You need to know that we can all do something with it, because I love I read it again, but I know the poem, and it says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure, and it's not our light, it is our darkness that frightens us most. And it goes on, and it's not much longer, but you all have light. We all have that light inside you, but you just need to know where can you get it lit. Here is where you're going to get that light lit. Here is where you're going to start that story. And that's why I'm so passionate about the Speakers Club, because I see so many, there is speaking organizations, they are doing a wonderful job, but it's not enough, because it's very standardized, and you have a story that doesn't get developed because that the way you build it is not enough for you. And that's what I see here as well. If I tell you something that doesn't gel with you, and I'm under no illusion, I don't connect with everybody. I'll do my best to connect with as many people as possible, but then there might be somebody in another time zone, or somebody in another level that connects better with him, and that's fine. You're here. Search what, it's a smorgasbord. Pick what you need from that smorgasbord now, and you'll come back to the rest, because you'll need all of it at some point. But you can't use all of it just now, because then you get overwhelmed. So that's so important to me. But I can say so much more about it, but people, like and share this with your friends. Take your friends to the table. There is a seat for each and every one of you, because you all matter. And as Artie said, it's not enough. You need to know you matter. And if you don't believe in yourself, borrow other people's belief in you until you do. But you need to start believing in yourself, because that's where it finishes. And we at the moment, we believe in you. We believe in you so much and we believe in the founders so much that they created this platform for us and for you, that we are saying, yes, I'm in 120%. But also then, quickly, to get back to Artie before we run out of time.
No, Jan, we've only got 1 minute left.
Okay.
We've only got 1 minute left, and I want, before everybody jumps off, sorry, can Tina quickly just tell us what website can people catch you on personally?
Thank you, Artie. So it's Tina Omugo, one word, Tina Omugo, or johnlugatsconsulting.com. So any of that will default to the same thing.
Thank you. I think it will be an idea to put it in our comment section on this when you're done. Sadia, or for you?
Also, many of our hosts have their links on our website.
Perfect.
Yeah, so let's make it easy. The links are on the website, so you can go to ibgr.network. This is where you will find us.
So thank you to everybody.
You can find me on Facebook and all social media platforms.
From our side, we want to say thank you to everybody and allow Donna to close off for us. We've got exactly a few seconds left.
Just in these last seconds, thank you all, both our on-air talent, our viewers, our listeners, and those who are yet to be impacted. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for allowing us to partner with you on this journey and for trusting us. You know, there's a joke out there that you if you're sick and you go to Dr. Google, what kind of answers are you going to get? If you're in legal trouble and you go to attorney Google, maybe hit or miss. And I think it's the same thing with business Google. But when you come to IBGR, you're going to get the real deal. And as I mentioned, we are going to be changing those percentages. We're literally going to be changing and building those businesses that are going to be fast and sustainable, because you are going to be doing the work and you're going to be doing the right work. You don't know what you don't know until you come on over to IBGR and let us pour into you and your business. Thank you.
And we are done.
Have a great business day, everyone.
Thank you.
You too. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.